Welcome to my bathroom. It's like 7 a.m. It's Tuesday, which means it's weigh-in day, which means it's shot day. Today's the day I go up to 5 milligrams. Some shit and bricks about that, but for some reason, I'm like genuinely nervous to step on the scale. I think that's because I've been feeling so good, and I'm just worried that if I step on it and it doesn't look like the scale has moved at all, then that's gonna fuck me up mentally. But I'm just gonna step on it. It's just a number. It doesn't matter because I still feel good. I do feel like I'm a little bit swollen. I still have my period too, so that could be why. I'm not gonna hold that against me. Okay, let's get on. And as a reminder, I was 295.6 last week. Y'all, that is a 5.6 pound weight loss since last week. I knew I started feeling something. Okay, that just made me feel happy. Let's do the calculations of how much that is since I started January 23rd. Hold on, I need my calculator. It's too early in the morning to do math. Okay, that is 16 pounds since I started this. I started January 23rd at 306, and I'm 290 now, so that's 16 pounds. Oh my gosh. I can't fucking believe it. Wow. I'm shocked to say the least. I knew I had lost like a little bit in that week because I really feel like I started seeing it in like my face area and like feeling it like in my stomach. But I thought it was only gonna be like a 2 pound, maybe 3 pound loss. I truly didn't think it was gonna be almost 6 pounds. So that is like wild to me, especially because of how the scale like didn't move for all of those days beforehand. But really that could have been because of my period. So I'm shocked. I'm very shocked. I'm very proud of myself, which sounds like hard for me to say out loud. And I'm gonna be 100% real with you guys. When I got in the car and I was kind of like thinking about what I was gonna say when I turned the camera on, it popped in my head to say like, you know, but 290 obviously is still really bad. And like, I've seen 290 before, and to me, that's not that like big of a difference. Like 290 to me is nothing to celebrate. That's what I was kind of going to say. That's what my brain told me to say. But then I thought about something that my therapist asked me what day is it? Tuesday? Last week. And she asked me, do you ever find yourself downplaying things? Like if someone says, oh, that's a really nice shirt, do you find yourself going, oh, this old thing, this raggedy thing, oh, whatever, instead of just like accepting the compliment? And I was like, yeah, I do. And so we talked a lot about that. And that just stuck in my brain with me right now of like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna be excited. I'm allowed to be proud of myself. I don't have to downplay how cool it is that I lost 16 fucking pounds. Just because 16 pounds doesn't equal 200 or Wonderland or my goal weight, it's still a very high number. It's still worth celebrating. So I am proud of myself. And I am excited. Feels good, but also weird to say. So, wow. Yeah. This is probably just going to be me the whole time being like, wow, wow, wow. But truly, I'm very proud of myself and shocked. So that's my first month. We are exactly 1 month today since I started my first injection. So that means this month it is a 16-pound weight loss on 2.5 milligrams of Mounjaro. I call that a success, baby. I mean, that's wild. There are some people that don't lose that within the first few months. So I feel very grateful that my body is like allowing me to lose this weight. And I just feel better internally. Like I feel lighter and I feel like my arteries are less clogged. I don't feel as like, ugh, all the time. Like, you know, when you eat like a really good, like fast food meal and it's so good, but then afterwards you're just left to feel like shit. It's nice that I haven't felt like that in a month. The only fast food I have had was Chick-fil-A 2 times for lunch at the like beginning of the month, and I got a grilled chicken Cobb salad, so not even like the worst thing in the world. And then I had that Super Bowl party where I, you know, indulged a little bit. I have had some sweets here and there over this past month, a piece of cake, a cupcake, a little bit of ice cream. But I was able to do it like and I hate using this term, but normal person, like someone who does not struggle with food addiction. I was able to just eat what I wanted out of it, and that's it, and then put it aside and not think about it again. And that is such a big win to me. I'm really loving this stepping on the scale once a week. It was really hard for me. It really truly was. There were multiple times where I wanted to step on the scale so bad, but I kept telling myself, nope, I promised these people in my phone that, okay, I'm only going to do it once a week. And I'm glad that I stuck to it. Like, I followed through with what I said I was going to do. And to me, that's also huge. And it's funny because this morning I like didn't want to step on the scale. I was very hesitant about stepping on the scale because I was worried that it was going to alter the way my brain was doing. And I'm sure there are going to be times in the next however long this journey is that I step on the scale and I'm not going to be happy with what I see, or the scale is not going to move, or the scale is going to go up. And I know the weight loss is going to slow. The more I lose, the less I'm going to lose more often. And I have to learn now to be okay with that. And to just focus on those non-scale victories like I did last week. Everything is perspective. Every single thing in our life is perspective. If we can look at something negative with at least a little bit of positive, then you're already winning. Feel your feels. Be angry, be sad, be frustrated. All of those things, but don't stay in that and try to always see a little bit of a brighter side. And I mean, there are some situations, unfortunately, where there is no bright side. But in the situations that you can control your perspective, I think putting things in perspective for yourself is so important, at least for me, and it helps me not to spiral. And putting into perspective the non-scale victories last week was very helpful to my mental health, to the point where I almost didn't want to step on the scale this morning because I was afraid to be ripped out of the good mental place that I'm in right now. But I feel like once I told myself internally, whatever the scale says, whether it says something great or something horrible, that doesn't take away how good you feel. Did it help that the scale said something good? 100%. But yeah, I'm proud of myself. And that just really goes to show that, like, just eating properly, like cutting out all of the bad shit, or not all of the bad shit, cutting out what I was doing. I used to, a long time ago when I had my YouTube channel, I'm talking like 5 years ago, I used to sit down and calculate. This was when I had my surgery done, so this was in my like peak of healthiness. I used to sit down and go on fast food restaurants' websites to look up their nutrition labels on things and calculate how many calories I would eat from restaurants that I frequented at, just in that, like, you know, one sitting. And it was fucking eye-opening. I actually think I have some of those videos still, like, privated on this account. So if you would like to see them, maybe I can unprivate them, or like share like a little split screen one day of some of those, because it really is eye-opening. I have not been counting calories. I feel like I just kind of needed this first month and maybe first 2 months to kind of like detox my body of my bad habits before I like jump right into like completely cutting out sugar or weighing out every single thing that I eat. Because for me, the problem is if I overcomplicate shit, like, it overcomplicates it. I have done the calorie counting. I have done the weighing things out. I have done the journaling, which actually journaling I do like. But I've done all of this. I've done Weight Watchers. Like, I have done all of this. I've done nutritionists. Like, I've done it all. I fucking had surgery, for God's sake. Like, I've done it all. And when I overcomplicate shit, that's when I get obsessive. And that's when it does not work for me. For me. All of that stuff might work for you, but for me, it does not work. And the medication just truly makes things feel fucking easy. Like, it just feels easy to not obsess over everything. I'm making better choices because in my mind it's common sense. A lot of protein, not a lot of sugar. That's what I'm focusing on right now. I know I need to include like more fiber and, you know, kind of worry about all that. But right now, for me, mentally and obviously physically, this is working. And like today, I'll give you an idea of what I have to eat with me today. I have an apple and peanut butter, hard-boiled eggs, some low-fat cottage cheese with a no sugar added pineapple cup, and a tuna sandwich on Dave's Killer Bread with 2 pieces of Colby Jack cheese and half of a can of tuna that instead of using mayonnaise, I mixed in with yogurt. That's what I have for today. And I'll be honest with you, when I get home, I probably will have a bowl of Cool Whip, no sugar, with a handful of dark chocolate chips, because that's just what works for me. Last night when I got home, I had half of a cupcake without the icing and a bowl of the Cool Whip with chocolate chips because I was craving it and that's what I wanted, and I had it and I didn't feel bad about it and the scale didn't move. Like, these things once in a while when I want them are okay, and my brain needs to catch up to the fact that they're okay. You're allowed to have cravings. You just ate something. You're an adult. You ate something you said you wanted to eat, and then that was it. Like, we have to retrain our brains to stop thinking that these foods that we struggle with are so bad. And I will say, this is where this gets tricky, because before this medication, I was not able to give myself a cheat day. I was not able to give myself a cheat meal because that would trigger the addiction inside of me. And this is where it was tricky. I had a really hard time going cold turkey, but then I had a really hard time allowing myself to have a cheat meal or to have a treat, because then that would spiral me for days, weeks, months. It would spiral me. And so I was kind of, for lack of a better word, fucked on both ends of the stick, because having a treat and a cheat day would cause me to binge, but then being too strict eventually would cause me to binge. And so it was a never-ending cycle. I was always fighting with myself. And now with this medicine, I'm able to have these things in moderation, but not binge, because it is helping the psychological part of my brain that is addicted to the feeling and the taste and whatever else of this food, of the sugar, of the chocolate, of everything. So yeah, 16 pounds down from my first month on 2.5. Wild. Today I do my 5 milligram, which I'm real nervous about. I'm very worried that I'm gonna feel sick, but I'm just going to make it a point to stay super hydrated today, eat good protein, in hopes that helps counteract any sort of reaction I will have tomorrow, and we will see. Hope everybody has a great Tuesday, and yeah, I'm proud of myself. No matter what you accomplished this week, last year, last month, what you're going to accomplish, I'm proud of you too. Thank you to everybody that's been so kind in the comments, and the community that we are building is really awesome. I'm really excited to see where else this can go and how many more people we can reach. And yeah, hope you have the best day ever.